Did Casper being around affect you going into the 23 season?
I have bigger things going on than Casper.
Do you have any regrets about 2023? Anything you'd have done differently?
No, I'm in a good place now. Besides, what's to regret about being the story of the season?
What is going on, buddy? Zach RC here. Welcome back to... Oh, hang on. Jeez, that was quick. Alright, uncle.
Dad!
Devon.
How's business?
Same as ever, hiring and firing. How's racing?
Oh, you know, ducking and driving.
You all prepared?
Of course, I've double-checked the strategy changes. I'm just going over my notes now. Everything's covered, just like always. They won't see me for dust.
Spoken like a true butler. Just remember, we've got a lot on the line this season.
Yeah, I know.
Dev, I'm serious. You're carrying this team, don't forget that.
Yeah, well, you keep signing these second-rate drivers. I can't do all the work.
Just remember where we'd be. Where you'd be if this were all to go belly up.
Just trust me, Dad. You've got nothing to worry about.
Devon, I mean it. If you don't bring your A game, it's back to the bottom of the pile. Do you really want that?
No. No, I don't.
Just keep it in mind. Now go out there and show me what you can do.
Already on it. I'll get you those points, Dad.
Good boy. Speak later.
Okay, right, so jumping back into the Breaking Point playthrough after quite a while since the last episode, so apologies for that. So we're playing as Devon Butler now, so start of 2023, of course, Casper Ackerman now with us as team principal at Connor Sport, so looking forward to perhaps a better season this time around with both Aiden and Devon in the cars. So have a look through social media here just at what's going on. It's a brand new season, and of course, that'll be the main thing. And a quick look through the emails as well. We're going to be a bit faster with these things now, just before we actually get into the action of the video. So a couple of emails to read through, one from Casper, or two from Casper here. One of them for the whole team, it's about it being the first race of the brand new season. Takes none of us to roll our cars up to the grid and wait for lights out. So it's the 2023 season, it's time to show them what we're made of. Good luck out there. So nice, Devon, Casper. And another one here for both Devon and Aiden. Send this to them separately, away from the rest of the team. Not only do I know what it's like to be the one out there in the driving seat, but we've also got history together, because these three were they're obviously the trio in the first Breaking Point story, which was obviously very entertaining. Big expectations for this season. This has to be the one. We need to pull some real points in for Connor Sport this time around, and hopefully things will all go well, and there won't be any issues, especially inter-team, over the course of the season. An email from Kay Henderson, which is Devon's PA. So remember, it's Davidos' birthday next month, the 23rd. What do we want to do? So I have to figure that out. I have to figure out a present as well. I've had a word with the builders as well about what's happened with the car in the basement. It's not good news. I'll maybe you about that separately. I think I should copy legal in. So what's been going on there with Devon's car in the basement of I'm assuming his house. So problems there for Devon, but hopefully they can get that all sorted out for us off camera, so we don't have to think about that at all. So hopefully that sorts itself out. We'll jump right into the race here, get ourselves underway for the first part of this 2023 season. So Chapter 7, with his confidence high, Devon Butler looks set to start the season strong at the Bahrain Grand Prix. Let's jump right in.
It was a race against time in 2004 to get Sakir ready for its Grand Prix debut. But today, the only race is where it matters, right on track. Welcome to the Bahrain Grand Prix. There's no shortage of passing opportunities around the 3.36 miles of the Bahrain International Circuit, with the best, of course, at turn 1, and then another soon after into turn 4. 15 corners here, 6 to the left and 9 to the right, and we could see 1 or 2 flat spots into that tight left-hander of turn 10. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Fernando Alonso, Russell, Perez, Hamilton, Sainz, Stroll, Ocon, Norris, Albon, Oscar Piastri, Jackson, Gasly, Tsunoda, Bottas, Butler, Sargent, Joe, Magnussen, De Vries, and Nico Hulkenberg rounds off the grid. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today. 2023 Bahrain. We're about to get going, and I hope you've enjoyed the build-up just as much as we have. The teams are ready on the grid, they're ready in the garages too, but in the commentary box alongside me, are you ready, Ant?
Of course I'm ready, Crofty. New season, new challenges for all of them out there, drivers and teams. I love this part of the year, Crofty. This is where it really kicks off, and you get to showcase all that hard work you've done through the winter months. Does it pay off?
Yeah, that's the question, isn't it? What does the 2023 season have in store for us? We're about to find out.
Okay, Devon, it's a brand new season, you know that, so let's start it as we mean to go on, okay? Okay? Let's get out there, come on.
Okay, here we go then. This is where Connor Sport's hard work all starts to pay off for the opening race of the 2023 season. Here with Devon Butler on the grid, starting from P17 quite a way back. We've got a full race for the first time in this breaking point playthrough. So look at the strategy here. We're starting on the medium to go on to the soft towards the end of the race. We're going to try and go as far as we can on those tyres. Go 8 laps on the mediums and then 6 on the softs to close us out. And we're downsized the fuel as usual to get us a bit faster towards the end of the race compared to everyone else. Primary objective on the screen now. Our main objective is to finish inside of the top 5, which could be a tall order given we're starting from P17, but it's doable, I think, given the difficulty of breaking point. Let's face it, it's not the hardest thing in the world. So we go now, 5 red lights for the opening race of 2023 with Devon Butler and Connor Sport here in Bahrain. And it is lights out, foot to the floor, go, go, go. They held us at lights for a very long time. They're 3 wide already with Bottas and Tsunoda as you get the jump on both cars up to P15 now as he charges towards the right-hander of turn number 1. Jackson and Gasly in front of us. They're a bit too early on the brakes there. They're trying to go around the outside. Jackson and Gasly there through the first corner we go, and around the inside of Piastri now as well. So in front of several more cars into P12 already. So go to the inside of Albon on the right hand side. Now try and take Stroll too. By the time we reach turn 4, we could be inside the points paying places. Last on the brakes, going into the corner side by side with the Canadian, and now going through turn 4 on the exit, looking to pull in front of the Aston Martin. We will pull in front, and that's P10 here within the first half lap or so. We start chasing Lando Norris now for P9. It's been a fantastic start with Devon Butler in front of Aiden as well. You see the bonus objective there, finish in the top 3 and get the fastest lap. Based on those first few corners, I dare say that the objective will be quite reachable here this evening as we continue to chase down the McLaren here, running towards turn number 9 and 10, one of the hardest braking zones on the circuit. Right on the back bend with that McLaren, looking to try and make a move on the exit if we can. Going to try and open the ERS, no DRS for 2 laps here. Go to the inside. Norris have got a poor exit compared to us, and we're now through and up into P9. We'll start chasing down Sergio Perez here, so a very eventful start for Devon Butler as Perez and Ocon, our next 2 targets, to push on towards the start lap number 2 of this Grand Prix. Perez and Ocon going side by side into turn 1. Perez has had the jump on this occasion, but Ocon's right there with him. Going to try and take advantage of one of these 2 cars here. Ocon with a poor exit out of turn 2. Going to move to the right hand side and try and take both Ocon and Perez here as Perez moves back into line. Ocon tries to slip in behind. He goes down to P9. We're up into P7, but Perez comes fighting back at us here on the outside through turn number 4 on the exit. Going to try and force him away as best we can without hitting him, and up into P7 now. Already 2 places off of our target position. We're just a lap and a half into this thing. It's been an incredible start. It's going to continue on here. On to lap number 3 of this Grand Prix and closing on Lewis Hamilton and making the move. It's the fastest lap of the race too. That's part of our bonus objective. We can try and get that for today. It'll be absolutely brilliant. Going to the inside of Hamilton there, still side by side with him into turn 1, and through the right handle we come in front of the Brit there, and now chasing down Carlos Sainz in the Ferrari. The final car we need to pass in order to claim our base objective for this episode and for this chapter of the story. Closing on him now out of turn 10 towards 11. DRS deployed for the first time. Use most of our battery here, so we have to try and conserve that as best we can over the rest of the race. The outside of Sainz, but not quite going to make it work this time. We get on the curve a bit too much there, so a poor exit. Let's try and come back at him in the next couple of corners if we can, as we make our way towards the last corner of the start lap number 4 of this Grand Prix. Going to pull to the inside of Sainz now. He's also on those medium tyres, so the tyre advantage is not there, and even if it was, it hasn't been much advantage for anyone else so far. Hamilton coming back at us now to the inside, going towards turn 1. Go 3 abreast of the Ferrari and the Mercedes, and the corner sport into turn 1 they go. Perez behind us as well, looking to try and take advantage of any scraps that might come in this battle. Sainz goes off onto the curbs, Hamilton falls away, and we're up into P5 now after a very tense moment, being 3 wide in the middle of those 2 very fast cars. And now we'll start working our way towards Charles Leclerc. We start lap number 5 of this Grand Prix, looking to take the other Ferrari, going towards turn 1 once again. So our main point of attack, that and turn 11. We're going to try and make a move on Leclerc if we can. Didn't quite get it done into turn 1, but on the exit, find a way around him. We're into P4, and Alonso now is the last car we need for our bonus target as well. But honestly, I feel like at this stage we could actually go for the win here, to go to the inside of Alonso into turn number 8, and on the exit, pulling in front of the Aston Martin and the Spaniard in his new team for this Grand Prix. And now Russell is our next target before we start chasing down Verstappen on lap number 6 now. It's been a car a lap more or less as we get closer and closer to the race leader. Going to go to the outside of Russell after going going for the inside initially, so sold him a dummy there, and now out on the outside in turn 1, got a good enough exit to pull in front, and now the chase begins towards the Flying Dutchman himself, Max Verstappen in the Red Bull, on to lap number 7 now. Verstappen though denies us an opportunity to race into the lead and pulls into the pit lane for his first and what should be final stop of this race. And our pit window opens now as well. We'll try and go a lap later than everyone else, see if that gives us any advantage. We lead the Grand Prix here for the first time in, well, it assumes to be the first time in Devon Butler's F1 career, but it's short-lived because you come into pit lane on lap number 9 now for our final stop of this Grand Prix. Russell stays in front here, and now making our way towards the pit entry or our pit box for Consport, the very end of the pit lane here. In we come, looking for a good stop here in order to try and get Devon back out on the racetrack, potentially in front of Verstappen if he can. There he is down the main straight. He's just crossed the start-finish line now, going towards turn number 1. He should get back around us with relative ease here. He's already a second or so in front from when we came in. So Verstappen now goes back into P2. Russell needs a pit still. He leads the Grand Prix right now. So we should be seeing a race for the lead between ourselves and Verstappen in a lap or so as we make our way further on towards the end of lap number 9, the start of lap 10. We've closed the gap big time on Verstappen here. We've got the soft tyres, we've got the faster tyres to our advantage here. Verstappen's on the mediums after going faster in his first trip, going way wide there off the track out the last corner. And the DRS getting deployed now. Russell pits, so it should be a bona fide race for the lead, but I don't expect it to last very long here. Over the line we go. Verstappen now leads. We're in second, but not for long. They try and pull to the inside if we can from a long way back. Butler goes late on the brakes into the corner. No contact. Maybe the Red Bull comes very close to a touch. We get in front of the Red Bull, and on lap to it's taken a 10-lap charge and we're up 16 places in what has been a very fast Consport machine, and that is more or less all she wrote for this Grand Prix. We're through with a dominant lead as we come towards the last couple of corners of lap number 14 to end this race off. We were really unchallenged by Verstappen over the last couple of laps there. The soft tyres were brilliant for us, and come off the last corner to claim what I'm assuming here is Devon Butler's first Grand Prix victory, and the first for Consport as well. Get in!
Plenty of surprises in the midfield. So where do we start, Ant?
Well, I think we have to look at Consport. For me, they've been the biggest surprise so far, and Butler, he's doing fantastically well.
Thing is, though, they've got to sustain that over the course of the whole season, and that is easier said than done. Certainly one Casper Ackerman will be hoping that this season is better than his last.
What a start to the season, Devon. You must be happy with that performance.
So we go then, interview time, and it's the first time being Devon Butler, so this time we get to be a bit more playful with our interviews. So we're going to go for the answer on the left here. It just comes so naturally to me. Going to go with a bit more arrogant side.
Yeah, it just comes so naturally to me. I don't really think anything of it. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it wasn't impressive. I mean, you seem impressed. I'm sure others do too, and rightfully so. I'm just saying that it was actually pretty easy for me today.
Well, you've had your share of run-ins in the past for teammate Aidan Jackson. Crucial question is that behind you? How do you feel about him right now?
So this is obviously a crucial answer we need to give here. One answer locked off there, saying he's got an attitude problem, which could be a funny answer. And I think, to be honest, Devon's opinion of Aidan is that he's just too serious.
Fine. Look, the main difference between me and Aidan is I know how to take a joke. I personally want him to perform at his best. But whenever I try to give him just a little friendly advice, he takes it so personally. I mean, he is a very difficult man to have a conversation with. He's all right, you know, he's cool, but he's very serious.
Well, Consport surprised everyone by appointing Casper Ackerman as team principal this season. So how do you feel about taking orders from someone that you've got such a history with?
Reference over to the last breaking point. I think in this case it's best just to have Devon respect the team. Of course, we could go the answer on the left, but I think the answer on the top would be the smartest one to give us here.
Oh, I like having old Casper back. Yeah, it's comforting, you know. It's like putting on an old pair of shoes, a very old pair of shoes. How old is Casper now, anyway? Like 60? Still, he gets to live vicariously through me, which must be a real thrill for him. So, no, I'm pleased, very pleased.
He's very right.
Well, you're embarking on a new year, but what would a successful season look like for you in 2023?
Three very different answers here. I'd like to say impressing Davidoff, but I think the bottom one will be, again, the best one in the way of the team.
I'm making it my personal mission to make a success of Consport, and by the end of the season, you're all going to be saying what a wonderful team we are and how great a season we've had. And if you're doing that, then I'll consider it a job well done.
Thank you so much for your time.
So there we have it, interview complete. Devon starts the season in fantastic form with an impressive result for Connor Sport in Sakir, end of Chapter 7, and I think we get a cutscene here as well. There we go.
Great race out there today, just in the highlights. Listen, I know we've had our run-ins and, well, last season was last season.
Is this a heart-to-heart? Wait, why is it muffled? What's up?
Fresh start for the team. What do you say?
Back to it.
Jackson. Yeah. Cheers, mate. Bin's over there.
Oh, what's that going to look to Aiden?
Nice
He's
one.
not going to be happy at all. What was happening there? Why was the sound all muffled?
Season just gone.
The 2023 season was completely different for Connor Sport.
How so?
But the car, for one. We'd ironed out the most critical issues, and it was just starting to live up to its potential.
Can we talk about what happened with Devon?
What did happen with Devon?